Yo, what's poppin'? You already know what it is. Your boy Drippy back with another banger, man. Feel me? We back on track. We back on our grind, you feel me? We bringing consistent content. Bringing y'all the things that y'all need to see, that y'all want to see, and the things that y'all are hoping to see. You know the vibes, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, show love. Do what y'all do best. You already know the rest, and we getting into this bit. Alright, so right now we about to react to when cops arrest the wrong person, you feel what I'm saying? So this kind of catches my attention because there's been recently a situation in Philadelphia, PA, which is where I'm from, where a police officer did a traffic stop and they actually shot a kid for no reason. He did not appear as a threat because he was in his vehicle, and the cops like rushed out, didn't even question him, anything like that. They just started shooting at him. His windows in his car were fully up. They were not blacked out. They were transparent and clear to see everything that you could. And they just killed the man. Well, that happened, but what recently more so happened was the police officer that shot and killed the kid, he just got all his charges dropped. Isn't that so miraculous? Every single charge dropped at the preliminary hearing. So investigation and explanations weren't even really presented at the height to be able to even be discussed or possibly recognize that there's a consequence for these actions. They just threw it all out. So this is some of these, we need to see these videos type things. So let's get into it. Sorry, I ain't no premium member, my boy.
Cops have little to no room for error in their job, having to deal with life or death situations.
I'm also grubbing
daily.
right now,
But
so
what happens when the cops mess up and accidentally arrest the wrong person?
Hey, yo, that's some bullshit. Get up, put your hands on the car.
Starting with the controversial case of Patrick Mumford. Patrick was just getting back home when two officers confronted him, claiming there were warrants out for his arrest. What the cops didn't realize, though, is that the warrants were for a completely different man, but this didn't seem to bother them.
What's your name? I'm going to ask you one more time. We probably need to talk to you. So, what's your name? Patrick. Stand up. Turn around, put your hands in the car. What happened?
Patrick is justifiably nervous here after suddenly being confronted by multiple police officers, but still manages to give the cops his name. However, they decide that they don't believe him, and instead of asking for an ID or trying to confirm his identity in any way, they immediately decide to do this instead.
See that right there, y'all. The beginning of the video didn't really explain what was going on because it seems like we came into the video in the middle of something going down. However, that's the way how the police like to interrupt people out of nowhere. No business, no suspicion whatsoever. You just walk up to somebody and you accuse them of doing something, or you right at them, hitting them with, attacking them damn near. How do you expect people to react? They're going to be offended. They're going to be uptight. They're going to be confused. They're going to be upset.
What I do? Man, what I do? Y'all ain't telling me what I do, man. You got a warrant. He just came back from his probation officer.
I got taser. You coming out? You coming out? Hey, come out.
Get your hands out now. You got 3 seconds. Hold on, man. 3 seconds. Do not reach. Get up. Put your hands on the car. Show me the warrant.
Come out.
Show me the warrant. 2. All right, take it.
Move. You coming out or not?
Dude, stand back.
Come out. You got a warrant.
I'm not telling you again.
You better get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Y'all better leave me alone, cousin.
Move, Fox, move!
It took just 38 seconds from the police making first contact to giving the order to tase him. According to the cops, Patrick was given numerous reasonable opportunities to comply with officers, but because of his resistance, they were left with no choice but to stun him. But even after being tased and detained, the cops still aren't finished roughing Patrick up.
Something was going on, man. Just off me, man.
He keeps reaching for his back.
Ah!
Quit resisting.
I got him, guys. Get circle.
They didn't ask for his ID or
The
nothing,
cops
bro.
searched Patrick to try and find whatever he was reaching for, assuming he was hiding a weapon of his own. But predictably, they find nothing other than his wallet. This would end up being a blessing for Patrick, though, as inside his wallet, the cops found his ID.
I just seen this fucking lady.
Patrick Mumford.
This lady not gonna tell me that I got a warrant. I just seen her.
Here's the deal, dude.
How long I had a warrant?
I don't know if you got a warrant, because you're not who I'm looking for, but here's the deal. When we ask you for ID, because you look a lot like the person we're looking for, you give
See, they didn't ask for ID. They asked for his name.
us ID. And when you start this whole fighting nonsense, dude, all you had to do is give me this.
Unconduct.
But the way you came up, asked me out of nowhere.
Remember, the cops never once asked for Patrick's ID during
Was
the
it? I said
initial
unconduct.
interaction. In a later report, the cops also stated that they were
Unlawful
worried
like
he was
conduct.
reaching for a weapon when he was shuffling back in the car. So, do you think they would have been okay with him reaching into his back pocket for his wallet? He wasn't given any chance to correctly identify himself, but now the cop is patronizing him and saying he caught a case he didn't need to get. And above all, he's still being manhandled and forced onto the hood of their patrol vehicle.
He a threat or
What's the guy
something.
name?
Is there someone here to stay here that looks like you? Think about it.
Hey, Jack. Guess what he looking for?
Tell him. Who does he look a lot like? He knows who it is.
So who is it?
Michael?
He is not Mike.
Okay, I know that now.
So get your hands off that nigga like that, bruh.
Hey, dude, besides that, he
Picture that we got, they look exactly.
Oh, wow. I'm looking at that picture. I mean,
Don't they
It's
look
not
alike?
far off. Okay, are we wrong?
For the record, this is the man they're looking for. It's difficult to draw even a single similarity in appearance, but
No, I'm not gonna lie. Their nose do look the same.
this is the man they're looking for. It's difficult to draw
Their nose, their forehead. I was gonna say possibly the hair, but no, that's not enough. One looks like a young man, one looks like an older guy. You know what I'm saying? How long? Either way, it don't matter. Either way, that was unlawful like conduct. The way that the cops handled it. That's not how you go about.
even a single similarity in appearance, but the cops apparently saw so many that they were comfortable with discharging a weapon at Patrick. Patrick was initially charged with obstruction and violating probation, and was fixed to lose his job and position at college. Thankfully, though, an internal investigation was launched into the 4 officers on the scene, and it was concluded that they didn't follow proper procedure. All 4 of the officers were suspended, and Patrick was awarded with a settlement of $100,000. But David Wiggins' story doesn't have such a happy ending. He was pulled over and forced out of his vehicle with not so much as a second thought from the police, but they failed to realize he too was the completely wrong guy.
Hands out the window! Take your right hand, open the door. Get on the ground. On the ground. Did you just run from me? Sir, okay? All right, put your hands behind your back.
David was put into cuffs and left on the ground at gunpoint after
She was
cops
nice.
mistook him for a suspect. Apparently, the guy they were looking for had just fled them in a similar car with a similar license plate, and the cops pulled David over assuming it was the same vehicle. It's an understandable mistake, but realistically, the cops should have double-checked the plate as soon as they lost line of sight. Instead, they decided to wait until David was on the ground, handcuffed, and at gunpoint before even attempting to confirm he was their guy.
I was going home. I did not run, I swear.
Since you give me that tag.
Suspect to a 2016 Dodge Challenger, last name Green. It's not a hammer. It's clear.
This ain't even him. Yeah, you good. Good. You're good. That's scary. You got almost the same tag, same car. He must have passed you going through. You good? Good. All right. You have a good one, okay? I'm sorry about that.
David was offered little other than an apology for the whole ordeal and was sent on his way after being correctly identified as the wrong guy. But that wasn't enough for David, and in July of 2023 decided to file a lawsuit against the city of Marion, claiming gross negligence, civil assault, battery, and false imprisonment. In the complaint, David alleges that he was forced to endure 3 minutes handcuffed on the ground with a gun to his head, not knowing if the next second would be his last. He also notes that the apology was a mockery. As of this video's upload, the case is still ongoing. However, when this cop in Florida was faced with the same situation, he managed to show exactly how you should handle it.
trying to get shot over this. Do you really think we want to be out here killing people?
A deputy in Volusia County was looking for a burglar when he stumbled upon Joseph Griffin, a man who he said perfectly matched the description.
There is a burglary that happened. You kind of fit the description. Let me just make sure that you're not him, okay? All right.
Beautiful.
Okay. Can I see your ID?
Beautiful.
Yeah. You literally, they said white tank top, black shorts, and they said that you had a beard. All right. So I'm not saying it's you, but it was a black male. Again, not saying it's you, buddy.
This cop is obviously aware of how difficult this very interaction can be, especially if it turns out he's not who he's looking for. So he approaches him politely and attempts to resolve the situation rather than escalate it.
They gotta understand, when they're trying to find people that fit a description, it's not oh, it's him, let's get him. No, it's a process. It's one of those things where it's like you have to make sure your investigation is on point. You have to make sure all that is on time. And you can't just because something is similar, you straight out go out. No, it's still a process behind that. Even if you think you really see the guy, even if that person's house is what the warrant is saying for it, there's still a process you have to go through. You have to understand. You have to make sure for not just his safety, but your safety as well.
Okay? Because you fit the description. I'm not saying you're guilty, but my sergeant's telling me to detain you. That's my sergeant.
I got you. I just had a daughter born 2 days ago, so I just have this online.
It's live? Do you mind setting it down here? Just for now, I'm gonna detain you. Look, you're not under arrest. I'm detaining you right now because you fit the description, okay? Just hang tight for me, okay, buddy?
Joseph respectfully informs the cop that he's live streaming the interaction for his own safety before being detained. He's also told that he's not under arrest and not being charged with anything. They just don't want to give him the opportunity to run should he end up being the suspect.
We're not saying it's you, but you fit the description. That's why I'm detaining you. If it's not you, we're gonna cut you loose and you're free to go, okay? But I just want you to see through us why,
7 cop cars, though. Hey, everything going on is just a little bit scary.
Yep. This is a burglary.
He's actually a nice guy too.
It's a burglary. It's serious. It's not a joke.
You got these guys that are getting ready to go home, and we're coming in. So that's why you have so many.
The cops are doing their best to put Joseph at ease, but you can still imagine how stressful of a situation this would be. He's doing a good job at staying respectful and composed, but you can definitely still tell he's on edge.
We appreciate you being very cooperative. Other people would just...
I'm not trying to get shot over this.
You ain't gonna get shot. Seriously, do you really think we want to be out here killing people? Do you honestly think that?
I'm a military police.
Like I said, brother, I've been in the same boat.
See, and the crazy thing about it is, they're more likely to believe it's him, because they say he is tank top, white tank top, black shorts, and he's running. He looks like he's exercising. He just came from jogging. So now imagine you rolling down the street and you see a guy jogging, sweating. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know why, but he's running because maybe he might be getting arrested. You don't even know. At the end of the day, you still can't come to the conclusion.
After just 10 minutes of waiting, they hear back from the witness who had just received a picture of Joseph.
So good news for you. The witness is saying that the clothes you're wearing and all that doesn't fit the description. It's called a show up. So we got a picture. Again, he's gonna run it through, make sure it's not you, and from what it looks like, buddy, you'll be out of here, okay?
A show-up is a method of identification where a witness is presented with a single suspect and simply asked if that's their guy. It's also worth mentioning that when looking for a suspect at large, police will only receive a quick rundown of the suspect's appearance. Adding extra details can create confusion and even cause cops to let the perpetrators go if they miss something small. This is why the description may seem vague and leads to false positives, just like this one is starting to look like.
What's your name, man? Joseph, hey man, listen, Jake. Just want to say thank you for keeping a cool, good demeanor. We just got the picture finally from the witness, and I get why they went out with you for sure. Clearly not you, but the clothing description and everything matched. So obviously these guys didn't have that to go with. They just had a description and he matched it pretty good. But once we finally got the picture from the video surveillance and stuff, it was like, nah, that's not it. That's why I told him, like, get him out of here. I appreciate you being putting understanding that, man.
Just like that, Joseph was sent on his way back to his wife and daughter with no further action taken against anyone at the scene. Later that day, the suspect was found and arrested. Both cases in this video so far have involved fairly innocuous crimes, but that's all about to change in this next case, where a man is falsely accused of robbing a bank and shooting a man in the head.
You're not gonna tell me how to talk, all right? You shut your fucking motherfucking mouth!
In the early hours of the 23rd of April, 2022, Grand Junction Police received a frightening phone call.
That's more recent, bro. That's almost less than that's a year from today.
911, let's only go with the address, your emergency. 704 Horizon Drive. I heard gunshots outside on Horizon Drive within a minute ago. How many did you hear? Probably 4 or 5.
Later that morning, police received a second call from a nearby hospital, making them aware of a patient who had walked in on their own with a gunshot wound to the head. It was determined that he was injured on Horizon Drive, the same street the gunshots were heard on at 3 a.m. A few hours later, a man named Aaron headed to the gas station to stock up on supplies for a marksmanship event he was attending that day. Unfortunately for him, the gas station was too located on Horizon Drive.
I went to a gas station this morning to grab some stuff, and they were saying there was a shooting at 3 o'clock in the morning. So they have traffic blocked going out on the 70. So we might want to look to see if that's going to impact our route.
Little did Aaron know, traffic would be the least of his worries that day. After stopping at the gas station, he heads back to his hotel to charge his phone. On the way there, he misses an exit, so he uses his blinker to make a U-turn in front of the police blockade. He parks up for 5 minutes to charge his phone, waits for his friend to show up in his car, then stops at another gas station to wait for his other friends to turn up. It's at this point Aaron is approached by police.
Can I help you?
Yeah. Would you mind rolling down your window real quick?
No. What do you need?
I need you to identify yourself.
No, why?
Because
All right.
you're leaving the area
Hold on.
where a shooting occurred. Okay, well, can you please roll down your window more so I can talk to you?
No. What do you need?
All right, well, I need to identify you.
No, you do not.
My name is Officer Posadas with the Grand Junction Police Department. And this is my corporal right here. This is Corporal Church as well.
Okay.
All right, so I need you to identify yourself.
No, that's not how it works. I have rights as an American citizen, right?
What Aaron is saying is completely true, and he is well within his rights to refuse to identify himself. However, that doesn't necessarily mean it's always the best idea. Regardless, in this situation, Aaron clearly wishes to exercise this right, to which the cop isn't best pleased. This is when things start to escalate quickly.
You do not have articulable suspicion that I've done anything.
I actually do.
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Possible attempted homicide.
You suspect me, actual me, of committing possible attempted homicide.
Well, your cooperative behavior right now does not help your cause.
No, I've done absolutely nothing. I pulled into a gas station because my friends are here, because we're going to...
Keep an eye, they're associated.
At this point, Corporal Church heads over to Aaron's friends, where he discovers that his name is indeed Aaron, and that it matches up with the registration on the vehicle. Meanwhile, Officer Posadas attempts to shed a little more light on why Aaron is being highlighted as a suspect.
Right, exactly.
You're leaving the area of a crime.
Exactly.
With a similar colored vehicle, similar nature to the description.
What description of that vehicle did you get?
I got a darkened colored sedan. 2 people also stated that one of the suspects may be of African American descent.
With this information, you can see how a cop would suspect Aaron. He's a black male in a similar vehicle. But things start to get much stranger as you dive deeper. In the official report, it was determined there were actually 2 suspects, one white and one black. And a more detailed report of the vehicle describes a car more similar to the one that Aaron's friends are driving. It seems as though the cops are ignoring every sign and targeting Aaron for no reason, something that only becomes more obvious as they allow his friends to leave, but keep Aaron at the scene.
My buddies that just left, they were also in a dark sedan, but you aren't fucking stopping them and questioning them.
Okay, well, I'm sorry that sorry that you
Shut
feel
your
that way.
fucking mouth. I don't want to fucking talk.
You're not going to tell me how to talk, all right?
You shut your fucking motherfucking mouth.
Corporal, come up here. It's not working. He's currently recording on his phone, but he's highly uncooperative with me, screaming and yelling at me. Told him that his vehicle
He's handling it.
description to get
This police officer is handling it very professionally. I like that.
in, blah, blah, blah. He's very,
I love that.
very upset right now.
Why are you not cooperative?
Because I don't have to be cooperative with your investigation.
Well, you have to ID yourself.
No, I do not. Tell me why I have to ID.
Well, Colorado state law says you do.
I want you to explain why I, me as a person, have to ID to you.
Colorado state law says you do.
The cops continue to ask for Aaron's name despite having already been told by his friends and realizing it matches
They
up
ran
with
his
the name
tags
on the
and
vehicle.
everything, yeah.
But perhaps the funniest part of this entire interaction is what happens when Aaron instead asks for the sergeant's name.
What's your name and your badge number? What's your name and your badge number?
Well, I'm not going to give that to you.
You have to.
No.
Yes, you do.
No.
You are a public servant. I'm asking for your name and badge
You also have
number.
to give me your name.
No, I do not.
Okay. So you wanted me to explain to you why I'm asking for you to identify yourself?
Yes.
Because we had an incident happen here?
Wait, hold on. First,
Okay.
please
Sorry.
give me your name and your badge.
Okay, well, no, I won't give you that right now.
What do you mean you won't? This is the most ridiculous thing
So,
I've ever
I'm telling you.
encountered.
It's
So
important.
I would say, you know, personally, maybe because he's recording, but the cop doesn't want to express that. But other than that, it should be no reason why the deputy sheriff should not be identifying himself. Even though it's still clear, you can see his badge number on his vest with the name on the other side of the vest usually.
Important to note that the Grand Junction Police Department require police officers to identify themselves upon request, but the sergeant later claimed he simply forgot. Aaron was never made aware of why they targeted him so directly at the scene, but in the official police report, the cops say that the reason they suspected Aaron was because of the U-turn he made. Remember, he simply missed his exit to the hotel,
They could've
and
said
there
that,
the
though.
road ahead of him was closed, leaving him with nowhere else to go. They also alleged that he didn't use a turn signal for the maneuver, something that can easily be disproved by listening to Aaron's dashcam footage. As you'd expect, an internal affairs investigation
suspect,
was
though.
launched into the officers at the scene, and it was conducted that there was no wrongdoing, and the cops conducted themselves perfectly. Aaron has since launched his own lawsuit against the Grand Junction Police Department, but as of this video's upload, the investigation is still ongoing. Check out Aaron's channel linked below for updates on the situation.
That was pretty sturdy, though. That was pretty sturdy. These didn't seem as extreme events, but you guys know they can always go left, bro. That's why it's very important and it's very vital that these guys don't, police officers don't falsely claim or falsely accuse or even intervene or interrupt a pedestrian or law-abiding citizen, because there's been plenty of times people lost their lives, you know what I'm saying, to the hands of these police officers. And a lot of people start to look at them as a law enabling gang. You know what I'm saying? Blue Lives Matter. Like, I know they do have to look out for each other as well as police officers. But at the same time, they have a lot of jurisdiction. They have a lot of advantage over civilians and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, my message to y'all, law-abiding citizens, keep doing what y'all do. Keep being great, you know what I'm saying? If y'all work hard, keep working hard, you know what I mean? Achieve your goals and chase your dreams. To the police officers out there, y'all are human beings as well. But y'all are not just civilians, you feel what I'm saying? Y'all are public servants. Please be more patient, be more, you feel what I'm saying? Tranquilo a little bit, like chill out, you feel me? Cause y'all be wildin'. That ass be wildin', especially y'all new at NYPD. I be seeing y'all, bro. Y'all NYPD be fucking wildin'. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all young niggas on the force, chill out, bro. Y'all just getting started. I got plenty of years along the line. Y'all gonna run into these situations so much, bro. Take your time. You feel me? That's your job, to be public servants at this point. That's on and off the clock. You feel me? Relax, my boy. Damn. I'm off this bit, man. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. God bless.